Good morning. Today is January 12th, and welcome to another week and session of Ask Elly, Intuitive Insights and Your Questions Answered. Today is the new moon. It's happening at 9:02 p.m. Pacific time. That makes it the new moon on the 13th at 12:02 a.m. Eastern Time. And today we're going to talk about some of the questions that have been posed over the week. And I'm going to open this up. We'll be speaking a little bit about magic and the energies of what's happening right now as the collective consciousness. So I'd like to welcome Bobo and JG Dubé and Thomas to the room today. Good morning. Good morning. And please, today it's going to be so about you. So please enter in your questions, your comments. You can call in. And I'm going to begin first with introducing myself in case anyone's new. My name is Elly Molina. I am an intuitive. I am a consultant, an author, and an educator. And Guten Morgen from Germany, Thomas. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. And I know it's afternoon over there for you people, but enjoy the day and the evening that's coming. So I'd like to start with a quote before I begin. And this quote is from Neville Goddard, who was a New Thought author. And he lived between 1905 to 1972. He's credited with so much of the information that, let's call it New Age gurus who are now currently teaching thought becomes things. He was really their inspiration. People have come across his materials since the 70s. He really ran the circuit in the 1960s, doing lectures and tours. He never really wrote much other than having his lectures published. However, he was so brilliant. He was ahead of his time, and he was also taught by a North African esoteric, Christian esoteric teacher named Abdullah. So his teachings were very unique, and so I invite everyone to learn as much as you can about Neville. You just have to look him up. It's Neville Goddard, Goddard, Neville Goddard. So today, Neville says, and then I'm going to go answer all of your questions here. Neville says, capture the feeling associated with your realized wish by assuming the feeling that would be yours. Were you already in possession of the thing you desire, and your wish will objectify itself. So basically, let's say this again, capture the feeling associated with your realized wish by assuming the feeling that would be yours. Were you already in possession of the thing you desire, and your wish will objectify itself. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So let's use this, and then we're going to get into the questions as to what happens when the wish and the feeling were already assumed. And we already had that as we go about answering the following questions. And okay, here we go. Hi, Elly. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and insight with us. You're welcome. I'm a regular listener, and my question today, in light of all that is happening in the world, especially here in the United States, I feel so insignificant. I feel as if my work doesn't matter. I feel stuck in a rut. I love my job. I love the people I work with. But when I look at the big picture of the world and all its problems, I feel like a machine. And sometimes I feel so hopeless, as if nothing I do will matter anyway. So why bother? NP out of Connecticut. All right, this is a loaded one today. So firstly, you're looking at the human machine and the human machine's desire for significance. And again, what does that mean? you say over here that you're helping your clients and that you're stuck in a rut. So just that alone, you're helping your clients. Remember the ripple effect. We think that everything is just, we think that we're not all connected. So remember that everything in the universe is connected to each other. Quantum physics now supports what the Buddha has said years, thousands of years ago. We're all connected. We are all part of a cosmic consciousness, which is going to bring me to the topic of today. However, as we are all consciously connected or unconsciously connected to a cosmic consciousness, what happens is that um, we become not just the observer of things, we become the one who affects what we observe. And while we think that we may be very insignificant and not making a difference, you are a drop in the sea, which then goes out and has a ripple effect. So by taking the focus off of yourself today, NP, taking the focus off of yourself and your personal significance about making this about you and the world. It's not like, look, I don't want to say this to you. Don't take offense on this one, but it's not about you. It's about the difference that you're making. Sure, it's about you. Only in the light of all eternity, the difference that you're making is for the other people, and you're making a difference for them. And that, of course, the universe will then see you make a difference, and the effects will then reach out back to you. But it's not as if you're going out there now and looking to make a difference so that you have a return on your investment. You're making a difference and you're helping people. So if your clients are benefiting from your work, then just keep doing what you're doing. Your work is significant. And again, feeling stuck in a rut, there's an old saying, if you're in a rut then and you're living in the country, go to the city. If you're in the city, go to the country. If you change up your habits, the moment that you change up your habits, you'll be able to get out of the rut. And also, when you're looking at the big picture of the world and all its problems, we're a collective consciousness. So rather than focus right now on the world and I don't mean to correct you, but I'm just going to say it, rather than focus on the world and all its problems, focus on the world and all its beauty and what you can be contributing to it by the mere fact that you're working with your clients and helping them and seeing betterment in them, in their conditions, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, whatever the work is that you're doing here, NP. Just realize that you can make the difference by refocusing what it is that you're looking at, rather than look at the world as being that you're helpless in this situation. Remember, we're all part of the cosmic consciousness. So if you continue to send healing energy and healing light and hope and radiance and goodwill towards men, you get to be a member of this cosmic consciousness that will then shift the energies that are around us today. So you have a big role to play. And so take a look at all of the positive things that you're sending out and contributing, even for everyone on the call. If you're sending light and you're speaking to somebody who's having a bad day, you can be the hope. You can be the light for them. That's a ripple effect. That is making a difference in the cosmic consciousness. So we're all a part of this, and we all need to participate in a way that will bring more love and more light and more goodness to what it is that we're looking at, as opposed to looking at darker forces. Okay, I intend that helped over here, NP. If not, remember, you are always welcome to schedule a session with me. Just mention the podcast. You'll receive a 20% discount on any service in readings. Okay. MK out of Arizona. All right, this is a different question. Totally. I've been having a hard time maintaining my personal friendships during these past few months. I find that I no longer have any energy to pick up the phone to call them or reach out. I don't feel like emailing them or even writing them. I've been sinking more and more into just being alone with my husband and our family. When my friends reach out and ask where I've been, I feel I get defensive. I know this may sound like a silly question, but it weighs on me. Any advice? MK out of Arizona. All right. Thanks, MK. Um, the urge to retreat is very natural and normal given the circumstances right now. The fact that we are living in a pandemic and that we're living in circumstances that have not been here before for us. And again, take the energy and the focus of off of this goes to you also again, MK. Take the energy and focus off of yourself. And if you it doesn't matter that other people may make you wrong or anything like that. Don't get defensive. Just look at you're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your family. You're taking care of your husband. You're taking care of your energy. We have a limited, finite amount of energy each day. We want to be, and this goes for all of us, we want to be really careful where we put our energy. That's why we sleep at night. We rebuild our energy sources. So here you are. If we are taking our energy and focusing it on all sorts of different things, that becomes a distraction. And we want to make sure that we take our energy and focus it during the day on the most important things for us. And if you're not clear what that is, maybe you want to write a list. And you just said to me over here, MK, that you've been feeling alone with your husband and your family. But look, this is a blessing. You have, take a look again at not what's missing, not the gap, not what you're lacking, but what you have. You have a husband, you have a family. If you have a pet, then take the focus off of, maybe you've got some plants. Take the focus off of what you're missing and put it on to what it is that you have. There are many people right now who are alone, totally alone. No family, no husbands, no wives, no pets, no kids. And not that we want to compare where we're at. However, you want to look at what you do have, the blessings that you have. And what other people think of you, MK, is none of your business. And so while your friends may reaching out and say, hey, where are you? What are you doing? How come you're not contacting me? Well, it's your right to pull in your energy and say, you know what, this is a very delicate time. Whatever the thing is for you, MK, this is important time for me. I need to focus my energy on this. And then so be it. So it is. And that's where it's at. You don't need to make excuses for where you put your energy, because we do have, like, I'm going to repeat this again, we have a finite amount of energy each day, and we want to use it wisely for the benefit of ourselves and those with whom we interact. You can't run a car on an empty tank, okay? It doesn't work that way. You've got to fill your own tank before you can drive your car. And so it is with your own energy. Your tank must be full, and then you can give to your day and to those, but you got to fill your own tank. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I do intend that helped. And again, if you're looking for deeper conversations on this, you can email me at elly@ellymolina.com and schedule a session. You will always be offered 20% discount on your readings. Okay, I've got some questions here today. Elly, I had a miserable day yesterday. I'm concerned about finances and where I am going in my life. All right. Great question, Thomas. I think this is a question that it is a great question. And if we can take the question off of you personally and put it on out there to those callers and anybody listening in today and in the future, to be concerned about your life right now is legit, okay? Because I don't mean to be laughing, but we are living in a situation right now that many of us have never experienced before. People who lived during World War II and during other wars, and other circumstances have been through either horrific situations or experiences. But for the most part, most of us who were born anywhere in the 1940s, late 1940s until recently, have just not experienced anything at all like this before. So we take our focus off of ourselves and we take our focus off well, when I say we take our focus off of ourselves, we take our focus off of what's missing for us first. And then we look at where we are. And we want to do that. And I'm going to use you right now, Thomas, because you called in. Well, you didn't call in. You wrote in. So I'm going to use you right now as the example. So here you are. And I'm going to make some assumptions that you're concerned about your finances. So I'm going to assume that you have finances to be concerned about. So then if we're looking at what's missing and what we have, the gap and the gain, well, then one thing to say is, hey, you know what? I am very fortunate and I am very blessed that I actually have finances. We don't want to look at there are people right now who have not. All right. So this is a blessing. You want to put some energy on the concentration of, I am blessed. I have finances to concern myself over. So that's a beginning. And then the next thing is that where am I going in life? So this again is, where do you want to go in life? Where do you want to set your sails? Now, if you're a boat out in the ocean, and you're just letting the wind blow you, well, you're a sailboat out in the sea, and you're letting the wind blow you in any direction. So that would be the consciousness, the collective consciousness. That would be the thoughts of other people. They will drive your boat and they will send you to a shore. And that may be the shore that you'd like to be on, and it may not be the shore. But you know what? You can always then put your boat back and go back into the waters. However, if you want to set sail in a direction that makes sense to you, then there are a couple of things that I'm going to suggest you look at first. And that is, without having to know exactly where you want to go, what kind of shore would you like to live on? Or do you want to live on the shore? Perhaps you're very comfortable living out on the sea and going from one port to another. So there's no right here and there's no wrong. And what there is a personal idea of what it would look like to live in a place that would match your dreams. You know, this gets back to another layer, that we all have a picture in our mind of what life is supposed to look like, and then what life looks like right now in our circumstances. So what I mean by that is there's a blueprint that we have. Well, life is supposed to be that I live in a nice house on the ocean. I'm making this up, okay? And I look out the window and I see the sun and the sea and the birds, and I have my partner and my children, my grandchildren, my cat, my dog. I have a lot of money. I can travel and go wherever I want. That's how life is supposed to be. And voila, now we have circumstances, and our circumstances perhaps are not matching this. And so what we want to look at is the bridge between what we have and what we are imagining for ourselves and what we have. And then the more clarity that you have on this one, like maybe I don't know what I want for myself right now, but do I want to live alone or do I want to live with a partner? Well, that would be a beginning. And if you already do live with a partner, do I want to stay with this partner or do I want to be with another partner? So these are things like you start to get real clear, very specific on what it is that you would like to wake up to every single day. And then if you go and capture the feeling associated with that, so let's pretend that you'd like to wake up every morning and look at the ocean from your window. Well, what would that feel like? And so if you start to put that into your body, well, what would it feel like to live and look at the ocean from that? And then imagine living somewhere, looking at the ocean and having that feeling come into your body and say, this is it. This is what I have decided and declared for myself. And then we let the universe show us the way that it will unfold. We let the universe do the hows on this one, aligning all of the energies, aligning the density of the mass to come together in the most perfect way. Your responsibility is to hold on to the vision and the feeling, and not to doubt it, and not to question it, and not to keep asking, well, how's this going to happen? And when is this going to happen? And I just don't know. All right. And that is the human part of us that makes it's so challenging for many of us to hold that space. When we do hold that space, miracles happen. And for anyone who's ever manifested anything wonderful in their life, then you know that that was the space that you held to manifest it, even if it wasn't conscious. All right. Okie dokie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got some more questions here, and I'd like to welcome Can't Sleep and Medi. And hi, everyone who's entered the room. I've got another question here. We all experiencing harsh energy patterns? We're supposed to be heading to much better days. I am very confused with this energy. Yeah, hello. You're not the only one. So think about this, right? Thanks for that comment. Think about this. We are part of a collective consciousness, and all of these molecules right now are jumping and jumping and jumping around, and in this quantum field, and nothing has solidified. And so we have a number of people focusing on a particular outcome. And then we have a whole bunch of other people focusing on a different outcome. And so the molecules are in the lab looking to solidify, but so many people of this collective consciousness are still focusing on these molecules, and they just keep bouncing around and around and around. So the possibilities of them formulating and forming have not happened yet. So that is why this is such an unpredictable and volatile time to be living in, because there's not a clear path of the collective consciousness. So it's not like everybody's waking up and saying, oh, we're going to have a bright day today. We've got everybody scrambling, listening to media, thinking different things, creating this story, creating that story. So we are so involved in this hodgepodge that the cake hasn't baked. Imagine throwing all these ingredients in there. Everybody's throwing ingredients. We don't know what we're baking right now. So the only thing that what I'm going to suggest to you is that you choose an ingredient that you want to put into this cake. Now, does that ingredient look like finding a home that is going to be, where you'd like to live for the next 20 years, 30 years? Put that ingredient into the cake. Is it finding a partner or maintaining a happy, healthy relationship with your current partner? Put that into the cake. Is it being wealthy and having wealth and sustaining your wealth? Adding more to that, put that in the cake, and put your health in the cake. That becomes your focus. Those ingredients are your focus in the cake. And then when the cake gets baked, you know what? You're going to have a part that tastes really delicious for yourself. So you want to look at where you're putting the energy into this cake. All right. Let me know if that helped. Does anybody have a question about anything right now? Feel free to call in. This is a perfect time because we have about 7 minutes, and I'd love to answer your questions, those of you who here are on the call, or else I'm going to move into a little bit of magic and what that looks like in our lives. So anybody have a question that they'd like to answer or call in? Okay. All right. No, nothing. Okay. All right. Again, feel free to call in with anything that you have while I continue on. Okay. Now, magic. What is magic? Magic is believing in the unseen, and magic is using various tools from belief. It's not even belief in crystals, using the energy of the magical crystals to amplify our desires. Magic can be just creating the unseen from nothing. Magic can be ancient spells. Magic can be rituals. Magic can be basically anything that you really want it to be, but there are different types of magic. And It just so happens that I've created a magic course for the next 6 weeks using the magic of the new moon today to begin it. And what my magic course looks like is that we're going to use the energy of the moons. We're going to be teaching about moon magic. And then we're going to use the energy of the planets, because remember, the moon is the moon influences a lot of our being because it affects the tides, and we are 70+% water. So where the moon is in the specific realm of astrology and even astronomy will affect us and how we are feeling emotionally. So we have this energy pulling on us right now. And so it's time. The new moon right now really calls us to be looking at stability. And all around us right now is instability. We have politicians calling for things. We've got censorship happening. We've got an earthquake of the largest size recorded in the last recent years that happened in Mongolia. We've got solar flares and solar activity coming down onto Earth. We've got so many things happening right now on this planet. And here we are as individuals, our bodies affected by this new moon we're looking for safety, we're looking for security. And when we don't have that, we're going to need to find a way in which to get and grab that safety and security. And one of the best ways to grab your safety and security is through the art of meditation and getting grounded. So during this period right now, going forward, I'm going to suggest to anyone on the call listening today and in the future that you begin a daily meditation practice. And for people who are unfamiliar with meditation, meditation does not have to be where you just sit there and sit there and wait for something and then have all these horrific thoughts come through. That's not meditation. The idea of meditation is to actually really control your thoughts and control just the energy and where you're sending it. So you might want to just begin with a guided meditation. If you go on YouTube, tons of guided meditations. You can even find a guided meditation that I've done on Insight Timer, which is called Your Council of Four. And I'll repeat that. It's called Your Council of Four. And this meditation is guided where you just have to close your eyes and listen. And what will happen is your body will go into a nice, relaxed alpha state. And in that alpha state, you will be able to listen to the right hemisphere of your brain. And it is the right hemisphere of your brain where the information that is really very important to us comes to us through divine, through collective consciousness. Whatever it is that we need to know is revealed to us when our right brain activity is on. And for the most part, we're always using left brain activity for running around and having meetings and consulting. We're using a lot of left brain activity for our daily tasks and talking to people. And so getting into a space of deep meditation at least twice a day, relax the body, drop your heartbeat, let your body heal itself. The benefits are amazing. And if you're not sure about that, just go look it up. There's so much documentation that to even question the importance and relevance of meditation is a non-question at this moment in time. So again, that's a place to start. Meditating every single day, dropping into the alpha state and allowing the information from your right brain, the right hemisphere of your brain, to download from consciousness, higher consciousness. This is a place to begin. So with that, if you have time to do 2 times a day, you will find that you will become even more grounded than you could possibly imagine. And the answers that you need for yourself in order to really solve your own quote unquote problems and situations will be revealed to you. They're going to come during the day just like that, like a hit, like a synchronistic hit for you, or it may come as a magical, meaningful coincidence. So these are the things that are available to us through the art of meditation and learning to listen to ourselves. And for anyone who's also interested in learning to really create magic and learn to live from being highly psychically developed, this is the starting place. You cannot, your body, you will not be able to do this work without going deep into alpha and learning how to access the right hemisphere of your brain. And so without further ado, can you believe that the half hour is already up? And I just want to thank all of you for being here today on the call. And it has been my intention that I've answered all of your questions. And I look forward to speaking with all of you. And thank you for another cool podcast. Your insight is beyond. We need more time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Thomas. Okay, join me next week. Email me, stay in touch. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. Much love. Stay safe. Create magic and miracles. Today is the new moon. Go get yourselves working, okay? Make magic. All right. Love to you all. Bye. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye.